About high school information. Yes, we are going to focus on Westgate's program, but at the end, I will be talking about all of the different high school options within Adams 12 so that your family really can start talking about what's best for your child after 8th grade. This is really the closest thing to looking for a kindergarten parents feel. So you look for a kindergarten, find that school, and then there's the high school decision. So very exciting night. Rochelle, are we recording?
Yeah, I did start it.
Wonderful, thank you. So just starting off with the mission of Westgate Community School. At Westgate Community School, gifted education is provided to all students in a community that nurtures the whole child, empowers students to be authentic, supports individuals in reaching their own academic goals, develops stewardship for the environment, and inspires passion for serving a global community. So in K through 8, Westgate Community School really focuses on nurturing the creative spirits, the academic passions of our students, and moving them towards becoming autonomous learners. And we want our students to be intrinsically motivated and really understand there's a difference between grades and mastery. And as they go into college, and we'll talk about this, they really get to look at what the syllabus says. And sometimes they realize, oh, I get 10% for attending a class. And we say, yes, you do get 10% of your grade just for showing up and being there and being part of the learning community. And that's sometimes hard for them to realize that just being there matters. So it's a difference between getting that 10% so you can actually get an 82 in your scores and get 100% in that 10% and end up with an A in the class, or really mastering the content. We want our students to be empowered and self-directed. We want them to be problem solvers and creative innovators and entrepreneurial thinkers. That's what we nurture here at Westgate, and that continues in our high school program. We still use our whole child model. We are whole child education, mind, body, and community, and that continues into our high school program. So we are an early college model at Westgate. And what our founders thought of when we extended and created our high school was that they wanted a gradual socialization process from middle school through college without having to stop at high school. A lot of our advanced students think, I'm ready for college. Like, why do I have to spend 4 more years in high school? You, as 8th grade parents, probably know they know everything. But what our founders believed in, what we have built in the high school over the last 13 years, is that students really need 3 supports. And it's that Westgate triangle. It's the family, it's Westgate, and it's the Front Range Community College, College Now office. And all of those 3 supports are there for every child as they venture into an early college model. So our high school programming, it's very small. We have 30 seats available, and it's big. They go over to Front Range Community College and have all of the benefits of the community college there. It is less traditional. Our students have more freedom. There's less restrictions than a typical traditional high school model. Our students get on a bus, go over to the college, and they have to be able to get to their class on time, make sure they eat something, get outside when their ride is picking them up. I often say to parents, it's a maturity thing, and you need to think about your child. And if you said to them at the mall, here is, some money, and I need you to go buy new socks, get something to eat, and then I'm going to meet you back here at 1 o'clock. And you would think they would probably have a pretty good chance of getting all of those things done and being pretty much on time for you. Those are the kinds of responsibilities that they're going to have to be able to do next year. Now, you still have a year to work on those things and to build up that stamina to make those decisions and keep an eye on what time it is and where they need to be. So it's always something to be thinking about. Our students can earn an associate's degree in their 4 years during high school, an associate's of art, an associate's of science, or associates of applied science. There are degree tracks that Miss Washington, as our guidance counselor, helps students so that they take the correct classes to earn that associate's degree. They also can try different classes. Maybe they're not working on one degree track, but maybe they're trying to gain some certificates along the way, like computer networking or interior design or nursing assistant. So those kinds of things are also available at Front Range Community College. So even if they don't earn an associate's degree, they still can earn 60 hours of college credit. But we love our students to be able to earn that associate's degree. Our program, the high school program is very different than our K-8 program. And I know 7-8 has homework, but it won't be, we assign the homework on Monday and it's due next Monday. It will be homework. Hey, I need you to finish this tonight, bring it back to class tomorrow. There will be homework in the college classes and there will be homework in high school classes. And it's about managing that and organizing that. The goal is that all students go to Front Range Community College. That's our program. It's the early college model. Again, 30 students, very small. Our teachers and administrators know our students very, very well. And then they go over to Front Range and they're in one of the largest community colleges in the state. Students have to be organized enough to balance all of those moving pieces with support from you, with support from our school, and with support from Front Range College Now office. The adults at the college may not give and build the relationships that we take great pride in here. So the professor may not build that kind of relationship, but they can come back here and we can support them. We can help them write those emails. You can help them write those emails to their professors. We can coach them on how to go into office hours and ask a question. So those are the things that we can do that many times if you go to a traditional college and then go high school and then go off to college, you don't have that support system sort of coaching you through those college firsts. So what's the difference in the different high school programs? There's honors, AP, and IB. So advanced placement and the baccalaureate classes. So honors gives you no college credit at all. It does do something for the weighted grades. AP and IB does give you college credit, but it's based not on your whole semester of work, but on one cumulative final that you take at the end of the course. And so this means you can be an A and B student all semester and not get that score on the test, and you don't get the college credit. So that's what's different in concurrent enrollment. And concurrent enrollment, everything you do in that class matters. And it really does set them up for practicing what that's going to look like should they want to go on to a four-year university. One semester of college at Westgate is 0.75 high school credits. So if I take a 3-hour class, what a semester class in high school is 0.5 credit. So I'm getting another 50% more credit for taking a college class. If I take a 4-hour math class for one semester, I get a whole year's credit for math. And then if I take a 5-hour course, which may be a science class plus a lab, I will actually get a year and a quarter credit for that college science class that was only a semester long. We also weight grades. So A's are 5.0, B's are 4.0, C's are 3.0, and so on. And there are other concurrent enrollment options within Adams 12, but many of them, the students never go to a college campus or actually sit in a college class. It's taught by high school teachers who have been certified, and they're in the class with other high school students. The Westgate difference is that they're really on a college campus and they're sitting in a college class with a college professor. The students in their class may be 65 years old, or they might be 30 years old, or they might be 18 and just left high school. There might be other high school students who are doing concurrent enrollment in there as well. It's really a rich and diverse community for them to share ideas and learn new concepts. It really broadens our students' perspectives. So what would a high school course sequence look like? So at Westgate, you're a high school student. You're taking English 9, you're taking world history, you're taking science, you're taking whatever math you're in, Spanish 1. You move on. Those same courses are there. Your freshman year, you take one class a semester at Front Range. So you go Tuesday and Thursday. And the rest, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you're here at Westgate full days. Sophomore year is similar, but you're taking two courses. So you might go on Monday, Wednesday, and be at and take those two courses, and then you'll be at Westgate Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Fall semester of your junior year is when you start going to Front Range Monday through Thursday because you're taking three courses. And then senior year, you're at Front Range full time Monday through Thursday, and you come to Westgate on Friday. So what kinds of college courses might you be taking? So maybe, fall semester you're taking something like Psych 101 or sociology. You might take history sophomore year and an elective of some sort. And it also depends on which degree track you're on. This is an example for an Associates of Art. So as you see, they build credits and they build into more difficult classes. By senior year, you're taking maybe a science, you're taking two electives for 6 credits, and you're taking an arts or humanities. So you're taking a full load of classes that's preparing you to be ready for whatever you choose to do after graduation. Our programming, students can borrow a Westgate laptop. We have laptops for students. They can also use their own device. That's different than K-8. So they can use their own device, bring that on campus to Westgate, use it at Front Range, or they can borrow the Westgate laptop and use it both places, use it at home for homework. They get all of the electronic textbooks, resources, ebooks, everything they would get for high school is there for them. There's a variety of course options they can take. They take face-to-face courses. They can look at all different types of classes. They can try different things they think they might be interested in. And they take college and high school level courses all at once. And they have a variety of electives to choose from in the art department, music department, language department. They really have a wide variety of classes that even a traditional high school can't offer. Authentic experiences, we still have National Honor Society, Student Council, students go to dances, we have a prom every year, they have fundraisers, they do service, class seminars, Seniors have internships. We have our peer mentoring program and whole child enrichment, which happens every Friday as well. We take students on college visits and they get academic advising here at school. They travel for service learning. Freshman year, they're local, they're doing something right around our own community. Sophomore year, they go to Grand Lake and do some trail work in the national parks. And they travel within the state for that. Nationally, they work with Habitat for Humanity as juniors. The last 2 years, they've gone to Nebraska. We've also gone to New Mexico. And then the senior year, they go internationally. There have been years where they've gone to Thailand, Costa Rica. They have gone all different places. One year after floods, they went to Puerto Rico. So the class decides where they'd like to go, and we like to plan that early so parents can plan to pay for that over a couple of years, and make that payment as small as possible. They really learn through our high school that service work has a huge impact, and you can impact your local community as well as the world with what you choose to do. It's a very exciting part of our program that sets us apart. Last year, our graduation rate was 100%. Our associate's degrees awarded last year were 41% of this class had the associate's degree and also went through graduation at Front Range. But every single student earned college credits, and many of the students were just 1 or 2 classes away from earning that associate's degree. Our SAT mean score was above both the state and district. And we had only 17 people take it last year. So that was, the N is so small. So if our students weren't truly achieving at that high rate, and we had many students lower than that, it would have pulled that mean down. So our students do very, very well. And every year they take the PSAT 9, 10, and then in 11th grade, they take the SAT. So that's very exciting. This year, one of our seniors is a National Merit Scholar. So where do our kids go after school, after high school graduation? These are some of the colleges that our students have gone to, or many of our students have gone to these schools. We also have students go into the military, take gap years, or straight into the workforce. So that's very exciting as well. They earn that associate's degree and then get straight into the workforce. This year is our first 10-year reunion. So I'm getting in touch with our first class that was 9 students, graduating class. We have students who have opened businesses. We have nurses at Children's Hospital. We have people who design games. So our students really take what they learn at Westgate and then use it in the real world. Here's some more of that service. This is our sophomores last year up in Grand Lake doing some of that trail work. Really exciting time for them. They got to use power tools and brand the wood planks along the walkway. So they had a lot of fun. And the community now, it's a tradition. We go up there and they really look forward to our students coming and they welcome us in. Our students really do have a variety of experiences. There are speakers. Their learning is really student driven. They have, there's a wonderful partnership with the University of Colorado system. So CU Boulder, UCCS, CU Denver. If you graduate with an associate's degree from Front Range College, Front Range Community College, you are guaranteed entrance into the UC system. A lot of our students become very close with some of their professors. They take several of their classes. They have wonderful advising from both the high school side and the college side, and they can always swing by that College Now office if they're not sure what they should be doing next, or if they want to transfer, which associates track they're on. It's really a wonderful partnership. So you're thinking about, I see students on here, yourself, or you're thinking about your child and who's successful going to college at 14. And over the years, now 10 years of graduates, we kind of have an idea of who's successful at Westgate for high school. And it really is important that the student, the child wants to go to college. They want to try it. It sounds exciting. They'd rather do that than sit in high school for 4 more years. They sort of want to start their life. They feel ready. And they like a challenge. And not only do they feel ready for classes, they should be academically ready. And we'll talk about something called the AccuPlacer test that every student has to take at Front Range before Front Range will allow them to take classes as an underage student. So these students have to be independent, self-directed, resilient. Again, those professors may not be as soft and supportive. Some are very supportive. I don't want to speak about all of them that way, but they have to be resilient. If they get feedback from a professor, they can't shut down. They have to go back and ask, how can I do this better? Can I rewrite this paper? They have to be excited about it. They have to get on that bus and go over there and feel good about it. And one of the things is this idea that I can do it, this fire in the belly. I always think of one student who, on paper may have looked like they weren't the best fit to go to college at 14. Twice exceptional, disability, but nobody was going to tell them that they couldn't do it. And she graduated with an associate's degree in 4 years, went on to CU Boulder's business school, and graduated with her bachelor's degree in 2 additional years, and then was offered 4 different jobs upon graduation doing what she wanted to do. So those are the kind of people that don't give up, that make it through our program. They have to take it seriously, and they have to understand that more is going to be expected of them because the college level work. So how does this all work? Because your child is a student at Front Range. What we do is we have a bus come to Westgate every day, and it transports the students over to Front Range. They can grab a little bite to eat, they can bring a lunch with them, or they go straight to class. So we get them over there, and then and Westgate pays the tuition for all of the Front Range classes. The parents do not pay any money for 60 credit hours of college courses. Families pay for book fees and school fees. So you'll pay Westgate and Front Range fees for those years. Rochelle, you know a little bit about the cost of the fees, or I can't see everybody, but or Alexia, if you know the price of the fees, give an idea to the parents about what that might be like.
I think as a parent, when my youngest graduated a few years back, the most I ever paid was about $100 for like the Front Range fees, and maybe like 150 for a semester because there's a math book that we had to get. But that was the worst of it. So it's still something you kind of have to budget, but it's, nothing in comparison to how much it would have cost to pay for all of that.
Thanks. All the courses that our students take at Westgate are guaranteed transfer within the state of Colorado. And even our students who go throughout the nation to school, most of their classes were guaranteed transfer. So we do that so that the work that they do here pays off if they want to go to a four-year college. They have access to all FRCC resources, the gym, the game room, all of the clubs, theater, all of those student activities they have access to as a Front Range student. They earn those credit hours and they can get those certificate and VOTEC options as well. Things to consider as a family. Most students take college courses every semester at Westgate. So I know sometimes parents think, well, maybe they'll stay back one semester, like they'll, freshman year, first semester, let's just do high school. But the truth is, most of the students, the majority, go to college. So on that Monday afternoon, all your friends leave, and maybe it's you that's back or a couple of students who are back. And then you're taking additional high school courses here in a very different way than with all of your peers who are going. Many students, they start off saying like, no, I don't want to take a class. And by, week 2 or 3, they're asking, can I get into a course now? And the answer is no. So it really is great to start off with everybody and go to the college. Just sort of take that leap with your friends that first semester and go and work with them. So you all go together and there's not this fear of sort of missing out on the experience they're getting while you're staying back. D and F grades get no college credit and they impact your GPA. They impact your GPA at high school and it impacts your college transcript. These are real college classes. And wherever you go to apply for college, whenever that is, if you take a gap year or you work for a few years and you decide I want to go back to school, that transcript stays with you. So those D's and F's and the withdrawals impact you, and they'll look at that. You can't sort of say, "Oh, I won't send that." It is part of your college transcript, and you can't sort of get rid of it because you were in high school. So it's something to think about. We have an over 90% pass rate of our students, so it's not a huge worry, but it is something that students have to take seriously because it impacts both their high school GPA and their college GPA. You could be put on academic probation if you fall under a 2.0 GPA at the college. So what that means is they would say to you, whoa, you need to take a semester off. Or, even though you're a junior, you can only take one class because your track record is such that we worry 3 classes may be too much for you. So that way, as a junior, you might go one day and take one, or, you might go Monday, Wednesday and take one class, but then you'd be back at Westgate on Tuesday, Thursday with classmates that are not your same grade level. So it's something to think about. And overall, this is something I always want to push is that if your child has a pass rate less than 67% in any college, but during this Front Range experience, they are ineligible for any financial aid in the future until they bring that up, which means they would have to pay for courses and get the grades up so that they have a pass rate that's higher than 67%. And that's something to think about. So, and that is something that Ms. V and Ms. Washington keep a really close eye on and to ensure that that doesn't happen to students. But that is a real financial consequence to sort of going there and not doing well in the classes over time. So as a family, I would say as you start to think about high school, After 8th grade, what are we going to do? I would say don't put all of your eggs in one basket. Kind of think about different options. Like an easy option, do the choice form at the district. Everybody gets into their neighborhood school. So you have to do that. A target school, maybe it's Westgate, maybe it's one of the other programs I'm going to talk about. That's the one I really want to go to. I have to fill out the application and do the things. And maybe you're even looking at a private school that has a scholarship you want to apply for. And maybe that is sort of a dream and a reach for you, but don't put it out of your mind, like go for it. So we've had students in 8th grade get scholarships and go to private school programs. So the application process, Rochelle, do you want to talk about it?
Sure. So our application process is pretty straightforward. We do highly recommend that students take the AccuPlacer test. In order to take an AccuPlacer test, you do have to apply, or your student applies to Front Range. And we have links on our website, or you just go to Front Range's website and click on the Apply Now button. There's some information in there that they're going to need your help with. And so once that's all submitted, what all that does is just generates a student number or an S number. Once you have that student number, then you go online and schedule the AccuPlacer test. We recommend that our students take that over winter break, so that way they have a semester of 8th grade under their belt. There's going to be two tests that they're taking over there. There's an English test and a math test. Um, and you don't have to take them both on the same day. You can, like if English is your favorite subject, go take your English test. And then on the next day, go take the math test. Or you can do them both in the same day, whatever makes your students feel the most comfortable. It is similar to other online tests that they're used to taking. So our students usually do pretty well. They also, and I have more information about the AccuPlacer on the website, but they also don't have to have qualifying scores in both areas, in both English and math. Most of our students test into college level English and not necessarily college level math. So don't stress about them not having qualifying scores on both tests. That's totally fine. Then the next step is to go ahead and fill out Westgate's application. And our application opens on December 1st, the same day that Adams 12 Choice opens. And you just go in there, fill that out with your student. Takes maybe 10-15 minutes. You can upload those AccuPlacer scores right to the application itself, and you hit submit. Every application that is received by January 31st will be part of our lottery that we hold on February 6th. Any applications that are received after that January 31st deadline will be put into the wait pools. And then as seats become available, we'll continue to offer out those seats from the wait pools. And you'll find out either way, your student got a seat offer or is in the wait pool. You have 5 days to accept or decline that seat offer or auto declines. We also have aligned our dates with other charter schools and Adams 12 Choice. So all of these things are going to happen within maybe a day or two of each other. So that way you guys do have all the information to sit down, have a family meeting, and make a decision on those offers.
Great. And then once you get a seat and you accept the seat, you will be scheduled for a family information meeting at FRCC. And students will attend an advisor meeting at Westgate to choose their class for fall 2026. So this is all happening really at the beginning of next semester after February. So March, April. You will choose your class for next fall, and parents can attend this if you choose to, or you can talk about it ahead of time with your student and they can meet with Miss Washington and the advisor from Front Range Community College. That's the difference when they go to Front Range. Now, at Westgate, you have Infinite Campus and you have access to all their grades and access to their attendance and all of those things. When they become a student at Front Range Community College, you don't, as a parent, have access to that. Your student gets a login, and what I would suggest to all parents is to get the login and the password from your child so you can go in and check to make sure work is done, that things have been turned in. If the password changes, that's when you need to sit down right away, because that means your child either forgot the password and had to change the password, or they don't want you getting in. So they either missed an assignment or something's going on. And what it means is you just need to sit down and talk and look at it together. Sometimes young students are so worried that maybe they got a B on their first assignment. They don't want people to see that. They don't want you, their parents, to see that. And instead of just telling you, they try to hide it. Now, a B wouldn't be so bad, but if, they failed a midterm or something like that, the earlier you know as a parent, the better you can support, and then the better we can support. Lottery preferences. You guys are lucky. If you are a current Westgate student, you have a preference in the lottery. Then come Adams 12 students, and then out of district students. So Rochelle talked a little bit about qualifying AccuPlacer. So this is the scores. For English, it's 246, and that means you'll be placed in sort of the English composition. And then math, you need a 245, and you get placed into college algebra at that point. Doesn't mean you have to take those classes first semester. No, you can take a class like psychology or sociology. So that is something that you can look at. So 246 English, 245 math. So what other options are out there in Adams 12? So choice options all have separate applications. So just because, let's say, North Glen High School is your home high school, just because you fill out the choice to get into North Glen does not mean that you will get into the STEM Pathways program. And so this is something that you have to look at each of their websites. And at Mountain Range, it's actually the business school at Mountain Range. It was formerly called the Global Studies. They've changed that to the business school at Mountain Range. It is sort of a global business curriculum. Horizon SOAR is an honors program at Horizon. Legacy 2000 at Legacy High School is also known as L2K. You may have heard it called that. It's also an honors program. And then they have the International Baccalaureate at Thornton High School. So all of these have separate applications with separate deadlines. So please look at those separate websites to see what you need to do for those programs. Charters. Check enrollment details for each different charter. There are Adams 12 charters as well as charters that are high school that are in the Adams 12 area but are not Adams 12 schools. There's something called CSI schools, which is the Charter School Institute. So the state is their authorizer. So there are many different charter options as well. And then the traditional high schools, your neighborhood high school, but you must fill out the choice application. It doesn't seem like you should have to. You live in the neighborhood, but you do. That's for enrollment, so that NIC they can place you. And then they're counting how many students they have in each class. First round for priority consideration for all of these programs opens December 1st, and that's for next school year. Private schools, as I said, there are several in our area. Check for enrollment details. Also check what tuition is and if there are scholarships available. Now, it's time for the fun. You get to sit down with your student, your child, and start talking about what it is they dream about when they dream of high school. You know, at our high school, they get to go to college. We don't have sports teams here, but they can play on any sports team at their neighborhood school. So they we have students in many different sports: football, swimming, volleyball. We have golf. We have cross country. We have track. So we have student athletes here, and then they just go and compete at their neighborhood school. So they try out just like everybody else, and the coaches are very, very comfortable with this. We also have students on baseball. So they know it, they've been doing it for years, and they really have a way of welcoming in charter players. And they, uh, have the same practice time, all of that, the students that go to that high school have. So this is just 5 weeks away. Yes, parents, we just got out of fall break and now you're thinking about high school with your eighth grader, and applications open in 5 weeks. So it starts the time. Let's research some programs. Let's look at some websites. Maybe go to some other information nights. Tour some schools. What it looks like on the outside may not be how it feels on the inside. So tour the school. We have November Shadow Days coming up for our program. Really, we have a whole week of different activities for our eighth graders to be able to experience our high school. So there's Q&A panels with current high school students. They can come and shadow. The sign up for those, the Westgate Shadow Days, will be emailed soon. So watch your email because they do fill up fast. Acuplacer. Go take that test. You can look at some practice tests online and get a feel for what it looks like. It's going to feel to them like CMAS, or maybe some of the questions even on the map testing. So it's computer test, something they're really used to doing. Again, like Rochelle said, you don't have to take it on the same day. Go and take the one you're most comfortable with, then go another day and take the other test. And then really keep your eye on those deadlines. You don't want to be out of a lottery for any school, that first lottery, because you miss a deadline by hours or just a day or two.
Sometimes life's going to hit you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. I'm convinced that the only thing that kept me going was that I loved what I did. You've got to find what you love. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking, and don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. And like any great relationship, it just gets better and better as the years roll on. So keep looking. Don't settle. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. Sometime life...
Um, Steve Jobs would have been a great Westgate kid. And what he's speaking about is so true in this moment. Students, you have to speak up about what your dream of high school is. And parents, nobody knows your child and what they can do like you do. And your voice needs to be strong here too. If you have an intuition, a gut about what would be great for your kid, please champion that for them, because they really don't know what high school is going to be like. And you have experience here that you can offer that wisdom to your child. So really start the conversations now. Look at other schools, look at Westgate, talk to other high school parents, and really allow this to be a process where you find what really works for you. Because as I say, when parents are looking for a K-8 school, when a child meets the right program, magic happens. So do not settle for less than magic for your child. Um, that's my biggest urging to you, and to enjoy every minute of this process. So now we're going to go to questions and thoughts. I'm going to stop sharing so I can see every.
I did want to pop on real quick.
Yes.
I do have a ton of stuff on our website as well. At the top of our website, you'll see a tab that says enrollment. There's a tab that has all the important dates coming up. It has general information. There's a high school application page, and there's an AccuPlacer page on there as well that also includes study guides and qualifying scores, all of that kind of things too. So lots and lots of info on the website to get you going.
So great. So do we have any questions in the chat?
Mine was muted. We did have some questions in the chat. They have been answered, but just in case other people didn't see them. The Front Range bus, just clarification, the Front Range bus does pick up from here and drops off over at the college, but does not bring them back to Westgate. So parents are responsible for picking their students up from the college when their class is over, because they will be getting out at different times. We also have tons of kids, because once they start driving, they're driving themselves back and forth, they're carpooling, lots of different things like that.
And I want to thank Ms. Dewar, Ms. Siebold, and Ms. V for being here and answering questions in the chat that I couldn't see as it was going. And they're here to answer other questions that you might be thinking about right now.
Absolutely. Front Range, completing that Front Range application, you could do that right now if you want to. There is a little bit of a lag when it's the busy season over at Front Range in processing those applications and generating those student numbers. So you can go ahead and get that student number rolling and just be ready to schedule the AccuPlacer over winter break. And then, yes, I will. There's a question, will I be sending out, like timeline, the deadlines, things like that in an email? Absolutely. I will be sending tons of reminder emails. So make sure that you're getting the emails from enrollment@westgateschool.org. And we also have all of these on the website too, if you need them handy.
Does the choice application request for second, third choice options?
There is an option to put a first, second, and third on the Adams 12 choice, but you don't have to fill out a first, second, and third.
Well, we are here for you. Ms. Dewar can answer questions. Rochelle can answer questions about anything enrollment. Ms. V can answer, and Ms. Siebold can answer anything about the high school program or classes, the academics there. I just am so excited for each of you, and I can't wait to see those applications start coming in on December 1st. Thank you for being here. Don't be afraid to ask questions. We are here to help you through this process, and reach out if you need us. So thanks so much. I don't see any more questions. So have a wonderful night, and reach out with anything. We're here.
Thank you.